I mean, this answer is going to be cliche, but I spend time with God. Now, let me, of course, unpack that. The world that we live in, it's a very fast-paced world now. The world we live in, it's a very intellectual world now. A lot of people read the Bible, they study the Bible, they study about Jesus. You see, but there's a big difference between studying about Jesus and knowing Jesus intimately. Huge difference. We can study the Bible all we want, but it's different when you actually spend time with God and have the Bible speak to you. That's different, totally different. So for me, there's many things I do, and I'm a person that likes variety. So for instance, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go and sit in nature and just listen to worship music on my earphones or something, and I'll just sit in God's creation and fall in love with Jesus and just understand, wow, that's a beautiful picture you've painted for me today, Christ. God, you created all this, and I'm just basking in your creation as I'm listening to worship music. That refuels me, energizes me. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go sit in silence. And as I sit in silence, I'm always praying Matthew 11:28. Cast all your anxiety, cast all your fears, cast all your problems onto me. So sometimes I'll just sit, and all the stress that's going in my life, I will just say, God, I can't handle it. It's yours. I give it to you. And all the stress and all the burdens, it gets lifted off my shoulders, and I just give it to God. Because I'm just a sinful man. Yes, I'm a pastor, and I have been. But I'm a sinner, saved by grace. And I can't carry everyone's burdens. I can't even carry my own burdens, to be honest with you. So I need to give it to God. So I get refreshed in that way. Other ways that I get refreshed is it's weird, but I go and serve people. I go out into the world and I be the light for Christ. I be the salt in the world. It's as simple as just visiting somebody, spending time with them, an hour or so with them, and asking them a simple question, how are you? It's not about giving them answers. Sometimes it's just about creating space for someone to talk. I don't know the answers, but I can be here for you. And let me shoulder some of your burdens. Let me carry some of your pain. And then let me ask God to intervene in that, because I can't do it. And in a funny way, serving like that allows me to be re-energized by God. Because in a funny way, it's in those moments where you know you can't do it and God works through you that you feel the empowerment of the Holy Spirit. Because you know this isn't you now, but you're being a vessel for God to use you in those moments. And it's in those moments that you realize and you get re-energized, that like, wow, it's not me doing it, but it's almost like I've got front row seats. Yes, it's my mouth speaking. Yes, it's my hands doing it, but it's like I've got front row seats and God's just using me. I can't explain it, but that re-energizes me, because it's such a blessing to be used by the creator of the universe. So there's many ways that I get re-energized. I personally think that more people in this world than we know are close to burnout or are burnt out, but they don't know it. And certain triggers for me are when I get frustrated around people, when the little things annoy me, when I feel dry, and it feels like, yes, I've got this head knowledge, but it feels dry. When I start feeling like that, and if you start feeling like that, I probably recommend that you need to go and connect with God. Now again, I need to stress very clearly, studying about Jesus is different to spending time with Jesus. It's very different. Studying about Jesus may lead to being intimate with Jesus, but we need to spend time with the living God himself. So those are some things that possibly may encourage those listening, but also these are insights from, I guess, myself, pastor's life. The big thing that underlines it all is I want to just acknowledge that, and I don't just say this, but I say this from a deep level of experience. I can't do it. In my own strength and flesh, I know who I am. I know my limitations, and I cannot do it. But when you surrender to God, when you allow Him to use you, brother, we can do more, far greater things than we ever dreamed.